I am very delighted to have the opportunity today to introduce my friend Greg Pod. Greg is a retired CPA. He's originally from Houston, and he's a graduate of Texas A&M College Station. He's been a Rotarian since 1982. He served as club president, and then of course as district governor, and then as regional Rotary Foundation coordinator for his zone. He then was selected as one of the 17 members of the board of directors of Rotary International and served from 2014 to 2016. During his second year, his leadership skills and enthusiasm for Rotary caused him to be appointed by the board of directors as vice president of Rotary International. Last year, he began a 4-year term as trustee, one of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation. There is a long list of his Rotary awards and his various committees, including finance committees that he has chaired and served on. And I urge you to read that in the app or in the program. But there's a couple of things I wanted to tell you about Greg that are not in there. One is a personal story. When I was, like all district governor-elects, I went to the International Assembly, which in those days was held in San Diego at a hotel even bigger than this one, where 510 district governor-elects and our spouses and numerous facilitators, people from all over the world, most of whom I did not know before I went, were there. And the very first day, we went through a full day of seminars and discussions and getting up and presenting, practicing speeches, a very tiring day. And I came out, frankly, into the lobby of the hotel from the meeting rooms, feeling like, why am I'm not sure I need to be here. This is a bit much. And who was out in the lobby but Greg Pod, my zone director. Every zone has a director, and there was Greg. Art, how was your day? Hope you did this, hope you liked it, hope it's tough, it's gonna be great. And it was really a nice encouragement after feeling a little bit like I've had a little too much Rotary. And in day two, I went through the same, wrong day, came out, and guess what? There was Greg Pod. This is not part of his job description. This is just Greg and how he treats the folks he works with in Rotary. And by day 3, when I came out, it's a crowded lobby, I went looking for Greg Pod because I liked the encouragement. It was helpful. And I really appreciated that. And Pam and Greg and Carol and I have been friends ever the last 10 years since. And he's a wonderful Rotarian and a great leader. I will tell you something else, though. He doesn't spend all his time in Rotary. He recently got in the business of raising bees for honey in his spare time. I didn't know he had any spare time, but he did. But unfortunately, there was somebody else that also up in Evergreen in Colorado in the mountains, someone else that wanted to be in the honey business also, and it happened to be a big bear. And so Greg is now, well, I don't want to go through the whole story, but basically let me say that I don't think that Pam and Greg have a picture of Smokey the Bear in their house. So I think he's pursuing other hobbies. So at this time, though, without further ado, I want to introduce my friend, Greg Pod.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Art. I didn't know where you were going with that. But thank you very, very much for your very kind introduction, and mostly for not saying what you could have said. Past Rotary International President, past Rotary Foundation Chair, Ron and Jetta, and more important, our really good friends. So good to see you again. Rotary International past Director Susie and Bill, past Director Vicki and Tim, good to see you here. District Governors, past District Governors, coordinators, District Governor-elects, nominees, and especially the President-elects and President nominees that will do the of Rotary, my Rotary friends and family of Rotary. One of the activities that my wife and I truly love to do during our spare time, besides raising bees, is to watch a good movie. Being born and raised in the beautiful state of Texas, one of my favorite movies of all time is a movie called City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal. I especially like the scene where Mitch is riding along with Curly, and the conversation goes something like this.
Do you know what the secret of life is?
No, what?
This.
Your finger?
One thing. Just one thing.
That's great, but what's the one thing?
That's what you gotta figure out.
The one thing that I have learned during my past 40 years plus of being a Rotarian is how significant our Rotary Foundation is important in transforming your gifts and my gifts into service projects that change both close to home, around the world, and even in ourselves. I have to admit, in preparing for this presentation, I truly wanted to understand the definition of transportation. So I did what all of you in this room would do. I Googled it. It didn't help. I came up with 4.57 billion hits. On a serious note, on behalf of past Rotary International President and our current chair of the Rotary Foundation, Barry Rassin, all of the trustees, and most important, all of the families around the world that you have transformed, a very, very big thank you for your very generous contributions to the Rotary Foundation. Collectively, contributions since 1917 of over $6.5 billion. Thank you. We should all be very, very proud of the significant impact that we have made in the advancement of world understanding, goodwill, and peace by improving health, by providing quality education, by improving our environment, and alleviating poverty. In fact, our Rotary Foundation, I am very proud to tell you, has again received the 15th year in a row from Charity Navigator, the largest and most prestigious independent evaluator of nonprofits in the United States. This places in the top 1% of all US-based charities in the world. As Art said, I'm a retired CPA, and that's not easy being one or living with one, just ask my wife, Pam. The problem is you're always looking at numbers. When I was selected to be a Rotary Foundation trustee, I had to look at a few numbers. And quite frankly, I realized something very disturbing. I discovered that only 39% of all the Rotarians of the world give to our Rotary Foundation. I also discovered that only 12% of Rotarians give to our Polio Plus program with the purpose of eradicating polio. Your contributions are needed even more today as a founding partner of our global polio initiative over 35 years ago. As of February 28th, we have had only 12 cases of polio, 6 in Afghanistan and 6 in Pakistan. Those numbers have not changed since December 6th of 2023. Hopefully, we are beginning the required 3-year period of no cases, and I personally think we are truly almost there. If all eradication were to stop today, within 10 years, polio will paralyze as many as 200,000 children each year. I urge you to give to the foundation for this very worthy cause. I have to admit that I was one of those Rotarians that never gave to our Rotary Foundation. I gave just enough to keep our club foundation chair off my back. My contributions to the Rotary Foundation significantly changed in February of 2006, when I was selected to lead a group study exchange to the Philippines, funded by our Rotary Foundation. I had already served as a district governor. I went through all the 3 years of training. And quite frankly, I thought I knew and I thought I understood our Rotary Foundation until I saw the great work that's being done in third world countries. The Philippines is a country that is almost the size of the state of Arizona, with one difference. Arizona has 5.7 million people. The Philippines has over 90 million people. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that I took for granted the value of my clean water. I took for granted my wonderful bed that I have each and every night. And I took for granted the decent food that I had the privilege of having each and every day, until I had it taken away from me for an entire month, when I had to drink what they told me was distilled water, when I showered each and every day with a cold bucket of water, and I can tell you, I don't like cold showers, when I slept on the floor most of the nights, when my meal each and every day was monkfish that was dried on the street and served over rice. During that 30-day period, I lost 17 pounds. Leading a group study exchange team is truly the best assignment I have ever had in my years of being a Rotarian. As many of you know, I truly love children, and I took with me 1,000 toys to give to the children that we met along the way. Our team gave 46 Rotary presentations in 30 days. So you can imagine, we saw millions of children along the way. Many of the children would come up to me and they would pull on my shirt. They would pull on my pants, something quite frankly that I never got really used to. I thought they just simply wanted my toys. My Rotarian host said, they simply want to touch you. You're a God. You bring hope to them. Think about that obligation. One day, our team was taken to a Rotary project in a distant village. The small local Rotary Club was providing everything for this community. They were providing the food, the clothing, the water, the restroom facilities, a school, and even medical care. During the visit, I became surrounded by approximately 40 children in an open field, when one little beautiful girl, I wish I knew her name, came up to me. She grabbed my hand and she placed it on her forehead and she put it back down. I asked one of the local Rotarians what she was doing. With tears coming from his cheeks, he said, she gave you the only gift that she could ever give you. She blessed you. Then all of the other 39 children blessed me that day. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that that little girl, in her act of incredible kindness, has truly changed my life forever. I know this sounds strange, but I realized that very day that our actions, no matter how small, and the actions of our Rotary Foundation do create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and specifically in ourselves. Those actions, no matter how small, do make a difference in the lives of others. Try this sometime. Ask your children or your grandchildren, what do they remember most about their childhood? Their answers can be quite surprising. They remember events that have long been forgotten, simple moments that just happen as part of normal life, yet they create profound memories. One day I asked our younger son, Brian, he's now 38, I asked him what he remembered most from his childhood. I thought it'd be something really cool. It had to be one of our wonderful family vacations. None of them made the list. How about the time that we went riding down Volcano on a bicycle in Hawaii at 4 a.m. in the morning? Boy, did I hear about that one. How about the time that his soccer team won first place when I was his coach? Like I had something to do with it. It had to be this one. How about the time that he caught that 28-pound British king salmon in British Columbia? Being from the great state of Texas, I told him it was a 50-pounder. None of these made the list. What he told me he remembered most was the time when Pam and our other two children were gone for the evening, and the two of us laid on the cool deck in our backyard with our feet in the pool, and we counted stars. You see, it's the little moments, the little actions that will make a difference in the lives of others. That ending starts here. It starts this afternoon, and it all starts with you. Being involved with the Rotary Foundation and Rotary has also made me realize that the great American philosopher Forrest Gump was right. See if you remember this very famous scene.
Hello. My name's Forrest Gump. Do you want a chocolate? I could eat about 1.5 million of these. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yes, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You think about it, all of us in this room have been extremely blessed. And to prove that, I would like to try something with all of you. I don't want to ruin our wonderful lunch that we have had, but I would like to show all of you a sample of water. Now, I'd like for all of you to do something to yourself. Slowly count to 8, beginning right now. Do you realize that a child just died? It's hard to conceive that every 8 seconds, a child somewhere in our world dies from water-related diseases. Over 4,000 children a day. Water just like this. None of us in this room would ever think about drinking it, taking a bath, a shower, washing our hands or our clothes in it. And just think, our Rotary Foundation has 6 other areas of focus that you can contribute to and make a difference. Making a difference with our Rotary Foundation, yes, starts with a contribution. But it also starts with utilizing the greatest asset that Rotary has. And that is our global network of individuals that wear this simple emblem called a Rotary pin. Individuals that invest the time, the money, and their talent into our priorities. I'd like to share a story with you about a global network and how it is working with our Rotary Foundation. One of the things that I like to do outside of Rotary is play a good game of golf. I try to play a round with some friends of mine that I would like for you to meet. They are brothers, Joe and John Gilbert. One is a lawyer and the other is a CPA. Quite frankly, a very dangerous combination on the golf course. Joe's not the best golfer in the world, as you can see, but we need him because he books his tee times on his credit card. Years ago, I was playing a small tournament that were organized by Joe. Knowing that I was a Rotarian, Joe introduced me to another Rotarian in the other foursome, Mike Ryan, from the Park Ridge Rotary Club in Chicago, Illinois. Mike and I, like all Rotarians, started describing our Rotary Club and our district projects that we were all very, very proud of. Mike said that one of his club's projects was building homes in Haiti with Habitat for Humanity. During the conversation, Mike introduced me to one of his friends, a retired non-Rotarian, Dr. Dennis Gates, who traveled to Haiti with their Rotary clubs several times a year to help in every way he could. Dr. Gates began to describe a young boy named Benjamin. Even though I've never met Benjamin, I would like for all of you to meet him, Dr. Gates, and his mom. Dr. Gates says that Benjamin was 7 years old. He had blue lips, blue fingernails, and he was gasping for breath. He was simply going to die very, very soon. Dr. Gates had been working for over 2 years to try to get some kind of assistance for this little child with no luck at all. I responded to Dr. Gates that Benjamin had a congenital heart defect. Dr. Gates asked, "Are you a doctor?" I said, "No, I'm a CPA." He said, "How would a CPA know about Benjamin's illness?" I told him that I had the privilege and the honor of serving on the board of directors of an organization called the Gift of Life, an organization that is a Rotary project that was started back in 1974 by a Rotarian in the Manhasset, New York Rotary Club named Tony Zeno, an organization that was started by one Rotarian that today has provided over 40,000 free open heart surgeries. Again, if you do a little bit of math, assuming that a heart surgery costs $100,000, which it doesn't, this Rotary Foundation, started by this one individual, has provided over $4 billion of service to the children of the world who needed his help. Dr. Gates said, and I quote, "Rotary does hearts?" I said, "Yes, Dr. Gates, Rotary does hearts. In fact, we've impacted millions of hearts around the world." I asked Dr. Gates to please send me Benjamin's medical records and his echocardiogram. He was so impressed that a CPA could say echocardiogram. I told him I couldn't spell it, but I could pronounce it. After receiving Benjamin's medical records, I sent them to 8 chapters of the Gift of Life that I was familiar with. A very good friend of mine and a past district governor I've known for many years, Robbie Donato of the New York Gift of Life, immediately wrote me back to inform me that their chapter was currently in Haiti with funding from the Rotary Foundation. They had a surgical team down there and they were performing open heart surgeries for the needy children in Haiti. Robbie asked me if there's any way that I could get Benjamin to the clinic to be evaluated as soon as possible. I called Dr. Gates back and I asked if he could find Benjamin and have him and his family visit the clinic in Port-au-Prince the next 2 weeks. He said, and I quote, "Greg, you are absolutely nuts. I've been told that before. Things don't move very fast in Haiti, you know." But Benjamin is in the village of Lagan, 8 hours away by car, and travel on heavily potted roads. That week, I happened to be in Evanston for an investment committee meeting, and I was sitting next to past Rotary National Director at the time and our current chair of the Rotary Foundation, Barry Rassin. Part of Barry's responsibility is the country of Haiti. I told Barry the story and that I needed to get Benjamin to the clinic. Barry immediately wrote some emails and made some phone calls to his friends in Haiti. The father, lo and behold, is located by Rotarians. And yes, they are willing to bring Benjamin, his mom, and dad to the clinic, but they have no transportation. More Rotarians in Haiti are contacted. They found a car, but they don't have any gas. More Rotarians are contacted. A Rotarian has some gas. Some of you may know that in Haiti, gas is sold in Coke bottles. They put the gas into the car, but the car won't run. More Rotarians are contacted, and they find a motorcycle. They take the gas out of the car and put it in the motorcycle, and lo and behold, it runs. Somehow, some way, the family is on the way to the clinic. 3 adults, 1 child with a heart defect, hanging on to the back of one motorcycle. Can you simply pause for a moment to think of the fear and the hope of these parents and the poor Benjamin I think about trying to hold on for 7 hours of driving in the dark and arriving later on at 8 o'clock in the morning. Benjamin is evaluated. The following day at 7 a.m., he receives his free open heart surgery, the last spot on the surgery schedule. All of this took place in less than 2 weeks, all because Rotarians and our Rotary Foundation wanted to make a difference and provide simple humanitarian service. I'm really proud to tell you that I just communicated with Dr. Gates not long ago, and here is a current picture of Benjamin. The smile tells it all. Benjamin is now running and playing with all of the other children with a wonderful life ahead of him. I'm very proud to share this story with you because our Rotary Foundation has allowed ordinary people like myself, Robbie, Mike, Dr. Gates, who by the way is now a Rotarian, and Barry to do an extraordinary thing. I, like you, will never meet Benjamin except through these pictures. But what I do know is that our beautiful world is a better place because of our Rotary Foundation. I hope that someday Benjamin becomes a Rotarian and he pays it forward. As we move forward in Rotary, I hope we will always remember to take care of our youngest generation. If you think about it, the greatest gift we can give to the children of the 21st century is very simple: a world of understanding, goodwill, and peace. I'd like to share one last story with you. Several years ago, I was dreading going to my 7 a.m. Rotary Club meeting after returning very late from a finance committee at Rotary headquarters. The program that day was presented by a lady approximately 55 years of age. Her name was Pam from Australia. Pam had a daughter who was a youth exchange student in Chapultepec, Mexico. Pam's daughter was in her last week of her youth exchange, and so Pam wanted to visit the host family to simply say thank you for what they have done. While there, the Rotarians of the Rotary Club at Tapachula took Pam to their little project. It was an orphanage of children who had been sexually abused, found on the streets, sniffing glue and sniffing paint. There were 8 children in the home. Like a caring mom, Pam asked the mom what she needed. The host mom responded, "It really doesn't matter," because she was walking away from the orphanage the following week. Pam asked a very simple question: what's going to happen to the children? The host mom replied very simply, "The children will simply have to go back where they came from, the streets." The next part of the story is almost hard to believe, but is a true gift of humanitarian service. Pam called her husband, Alan, who was still in Australia, and told him to sell everything that they owned as they were moving to Tapachula to run the orphanage. After the meeting that I didn't want to attend, I did what everyone in this room hopefully would do. I asked Pam what she needed. She first of all said, "Really?" I knew I was in trouble. The children needed everything, as you can imagine. They needed beds, they needed sheets, they needed chairs and books, and clothes, clean water, a kitchen, and most important, playground equipment. After providing a very detailed budget, thanks to several Rotary clubs in several districts utilizing their district designated funds, in less than 12 days, a $48,000 matching grant was completed and funded by our Rotary Foundation. Thank you. I have to admit, when I have my morning coffee each and every morning, I often think of Pam and Alan and the commitment that they make to these children each and every day. You see, Pam and Alan are no longer the parents to 8 children. Today, Pam and Alan are now the mom and the dad to over 80 children. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I'd like to end my presentation this afternoon with a video that I put together for you. The song was sung and written by a Rotarian that Pam and I met several years ago at a District 7610 conference on the East Coast. The video was put together to remind all of us that individuals under the age of 24 make up 35% of our population, but they make up 100% of our future. As you view the video, I ask you to do only one thing. Look into the eyes of the children, and hopefully you will see what I have learned, that our Rotary Foundation is really a four-letter word. That word is hope. We bring hope to millions and millions of children around the world each and every day. I hope you enjoy. Enjoy the pictures.
They are cowboys.
Thanks, Josh. Oh, you won again.
They are shortstops. They are dancers. They are cowboys. They are clowns. They are dropouts. They are drummers. They are earrings. They are gowns. They live laughter. They live heartbreaks, just the way we once did. They are dreams coming true. They are kids. They are skateboards. They're pretenders. They are romance. They are flirts. They are angels dressed in blue jeans. They are T-ball. They are dirt. They are jump shots. They are jokers. They are somehow just learning to live. They need someone to help them. They are kids. They are broken. They are fragile. They are lost and alone and afraid. They are searching for the signposts, for someone to show them the way. They need footsteps they can follow to help them stand up if they fall. They need shoulders they can cry on to help them make sense of it all. They need fathers. They need mothers and others with wisdom to give. They are searching, simply searching. They are kids. They live laughter. just the way we all did. They are dreams coming true. They are kids. They are dreams coming true. They are our kids.
As we go our way after this weekend, I hope you will continue to contribute or begin contributing and get involved in our incredible Rotary Foundation. Thank you, Lone Star Pets, for allowing me to be here. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all for the work that you do for Rotary and our Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg, for such a powerful message and sharing your insight and wisdom. And I'm sure your magical words have cast a spell on all of us today. So thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
And we have this
That's
special
beautiful.
gift for you. But let me read it to you what it means. So this special gift is a customized ceramic plate created specially for Lone Star Pets 2024 by my hometown artist, Corpus Christi, from Corpus Christi. His name is Bill Welhunmy. Bill's unique ceramic have been sold worldwide, and several pieces have been acquired and are in the collection of Smithsonian Museum of American Art.
goodness.
So this piece is yours.
Thank you. That is so
And
kind.
that's right.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice.